Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final episode of Free Game Recording Software, a series in which I review free game recording software, or capture as I call them here. It's been a long 10 years since I started uploading some gameplay on YouTube. I always needed a good recorder. It took me a while to find it, but hopefully with these videos and this series it won't take you long as it took me to find a good software. Anyhow, I will make another video where I talk about the end of this season 1 and the journey and everything, but for now let's not prolong the video and let's take a look at Metal TV. Some time ago, I reviewed a program called Plays TV, or actually Replays TV. In that video I explained to you guys a little bit of the history. As Plays TV shut down its services, it seems that this service, Metal TV, is now using the domain for Plays TV, and if I click on the website, you can clearly see that Metal TV opens up. And they are not even shy about it. Down here you have Expecting Plays. Plays TV is now redirected to Metal TV, but don't get fooled, it's not the same program reimagined. They just decided to take their website URL / domain name and use it for themselves. Sure, it does piggyback on the success of the program, something to mention, but not to judge on. Let's take a look at the actual website and then the program and judge them based off of that. What is Metal? Metal, to put it simply, is a platform for gamers to share their moments, highlights if you will. The platform itself has a game recording capabilities, and that is why I'm taking a look at it. I will not be reviewing the features of the platform as much as I'll be taking a look at the recorder itself and the features that are involved with the recorder. So let's take a look at the website first. At the beginning of the website, you have, if you just keep scrolling down, you have a bunch of videos. One thing that I've noticed is as you scroll down, each video just keeps autoplaying. The same thing is present on the platform itself. There doesn't really exist an option to turn off autoplay of the videos. Yeah, there's just nothing about it, even here and in the platform. So that is something to have in mind. As you open it up, you simply have a bunch of videos. You just sort of take a dive into the community right away. The only thing to concern yourself really is to press the download button. Taking a look at all of these other buttons, there doesn't really seem to be a button that says what the program is about. What is this thing about? You can see it has home, and if you click it, it just opens up this page, the same page that we have just seen. Then you have games. If you click on the games, you have a bunch of games that are played, available, some most popular games and stuff like that. You have login, sign up, download, add game, MetalBot. You have just a bunch of other things. So nothing really that explains this platform so much. Really not even an FAQ page. But that's fine. Let's click on download. And it tells you thanks for downloading Metal Setup. So let's keep scrolling down on the website and we see Metal TV versus Radeon Relive or Relive and Shadowplay. So we have, I guess, some kind of comparison, but you guys really found what to compare yourself with. Okay. So what I'm noticing, however, is that it seems you have an optional watermark. I guess you can choose to not have a watermark. That's good. Minimal GPU usage, again, we'll have a look at that. And that's about it. So it seems like this program has no paid version, so I'm not really going to compare it. But there's this little comparison with these programs. I guess, I'm not sure if this is accurate. I mean, they have minimal GPU usage selected here as well as for Radeon Relive. I don't think that's the case, buddy. Remove this. Anyhow, it says ready to try Metal. It's free, so there's no paid version, nothing to compare it to. Let's install the program and take a look at it. So there's an additional update that's downloaded. About 30 megabytes, not a big deal, I guess. Wait, there's another one. 140 megabytes. Preparing to blast off. Here we go. A little bit of that gaming cringe. I like that. I'm kidding. I guess I find that, fine. Oh, there we go. Recalibrating the caliber. Okay. Gotta go fast. Alright guys, now you're pushing it. So, this is a little thing to appeal to usually, but not always. This is something that's used to appeal to younger audience, like, oh, this is cool, it's actually doing something incredible, it's recalibrating the oh my god. Just trying to sound cooler than it actually is. Anyways, upon the installation, the platform opens up. The thing that I found interesting is it automatically logged me into my account, even though I haven't used this program for maybe 2 years or something like that. I did try it out long time ago and I didn't really understand what it is about. But in this video we'll find out. I'm not going to take you guys through the sign up process nor the comparison of pro and free versions, as they don't exist. Everything is pretty much free. So in this segment, the showcasing of the program. When it comes to the platform, just like I've told you guys, just like with the website, as you scroll down, videos automatically start playing. I'll skip most of these options as I'm gonna let you guys explore that. It's pretty much similar to YouTube. It's like a platform. You can watch other people's videos, you can upload your own videos. So that's pretty much what it is. But let's take a look at these buttons, what's going on. So first button is the library. And this is where your actual clips are. Everything you have recorded, either the full sessions, any kind of videos. If something is uploaded to their platform, which look at this. I played these games, it says 1 year ago, but it's actually in 2019 September. I think these 3 ones are self-explanatory, but what videos end up in full sessions tab? Well, there are 2 features to look out for. A full session recording feature and a record a video feature. So the first one is going to record your game as soon as you open it up until you close it. No questions asked, no need to press anything, just open up the game and the recording starts right away if you have that feature enabled. The second feature works in a way that you open up the game, hold down a hotkey for about 3 seconds and there will be a voice that notifies you that the recording has started.
Recording started.
And then you can play your game as much as you want and then hold down that same hotkey again about 2-3 seconds once again to stop the recording. And there will be a voice notification for that as well.
Recording stopped.
So those are the 2 things that populate the full sessions tab. And the last tab we have is in case you missed it. What is that? Well, the program has a feature that is going to automatically capture a highlight or a clip for you in case you missed to record that particular moment, hence the name of the feature. This feature is in beta version, sort of experimental version if you will, so it might not work all the time and it only supports about handful of games. Of course, I'll try my best to show you all of these features as I talk about them. Next button that really concerns us is the settings. So we have a couple of tabs. The first tab that really concerns us is the recorder. So let's have a look at what's going on here. You have 3 buttons: general, full session recording, and publishing. If you click any of those, basically the program simply scrolls down to that particular group of options. As you see, all the options are simply grouped. They have a title, then there's a separator line, and then there you have a bunch of options. Then once again, they are separated. So let's have a look at all of these. What do they offer? Quality and length. I think they are self-explanatory. You'll notice that underneath almost every option, there will be some kind of explanation, so I'll quickly go through them and I'll only stop at some that really are interesting. So obviously we have resolution up until 4K. Pay attention to this. You'll notice that the name of these options is actually represented by color. I think you have these first 3 options are sort of white. This next option is sort of green-ish, and the last 2 options are red. To me, the only thing that this seems to represent is how much power your computer needs. So if it's red, you need a really powerful computer. Green is like a medium, and white is just basic computer. I'll choose Full HD since for the representation, 1080p. Next we have frames per second up until 144p. You'll notice that the same thing happens with the coloring. Bitrate goes up until 70. Video encoder, we have GPU or CPU. Usually if you use GPU encoders, recording is simply faster, more smoother, so I'll do that. Next we also have length. But length for what? This is basically length for the clips. If you press a certain hotkey, the program takes a clip from that point and then back 15 seconds, for example. That's the length I'm gonna set it to. The way this works is the program will record/buffer your entire gameplay in the background. It won't really save it into any sort of file particularly. It's only going to be buffering the recording. It's sort of like those PVR recorders. So I hope that explanation satisfies you. Let's keep moving on. Let's point our attention to the right side. We have capture folder location. I think they are self-explanatory. There's a representation of how much space is used and how much free space you have. Moving down, we have recorder alerts. Again, self-explanatory. We have other video. We can choose the aspect ratio. I'm going to choose the game's aspect ratio. With this option, I'm sure that the game will be recorded as I play it on my computer. It won't be stretched or anything like that. Next, we have show mouse cursor. I'm going to show you how this option looks like if it's turned off while I'm playing League of Legends, and then how it looks like with the option turned on. Pay attention to the cursor on the screen and see if it's being recorded. As you can see, there clearly is a difference with League of Legends. If the option is off, the cursor is not recorded, but if I turn the option on, there is a cursor. Next, we get the recording buffer. As I've told you guys, this is what allows us to take those highlight clips, 15 seconds back, for example. You can choose to buffer the video on your disk or into your RAM memory. Next option I think is very well explained. I'm just gonna keep moving on. Next on the list we have full session recording. Like I've told you guys, as soon as you open up the game, the program is gonna start recording your game up until you close the game, if you have this option turned on. Also, there is a tip: press and hold numpad plus to end your current session and start a new one. So this is a hotkey that's set, and if I hold it for let's say 2-3 seconds, it's gonna stop the session and create a new one. Also, while the full session recording is in progress, I can press numpad plus to create a bookmark. Going to full sessions tab, I have a video of a full session, and as you can see, here I have a couple of bookmarks that I have created by simply pressing the numpad plus. Next, advanced window capture. I think it's self-explanatory. We have a couple of publishing options. Since this is a gaming platform, it features an uploading option. You can upload your clips and share them with the rest of the community, and there are a couple of options to complement this to help you out. For example, you can choose to free up space. Once your clips are uploaded, the files are removed from your hard drive to save up space. Also, you have a couple of other options which I think are self-explanatory. Finally, on the right side we have a watermark. You can enable author watermark and also choose a watermark position. But how do you determine what the author watermark is, and how does that look like? Well, it's actually from your profile picture. So all you have to do is just change your profile picture by editing your profile, and that is actually your watermark. The way that looks like is your picture, also the name of your profile, and the link to it is placed inside the video itself. It's actually embedded in the video. Every time somebody copies a link, shares it to a different platform, or if the video is downloaded, your watermark is included. It helps you if you want to promote yourself a little bit, also protect your videos, whatever you choose. Useful thing. Next tab, audio and devices, allows us to select our audio sources, like for example microphone or the computer audio. There's also a feature that says game audio only. However, it's not supported for my machine, but if you guys want to try it out, feel free to. It's in alpha, it's experimental feature, so it might not work. Next, we have hotkeys tab. The keyboard, controller, and mouse hotkey are pretty self-explanatory. You can set the hotkey on the keyboard or your controller or the mouse. You can use any of these three to create a highlight clip. For me, I have set it to a keyboard and I have to press numpad plus. If you are running a couple of different games, you have game switch hotkey, and finally you have enable hold to record. If you hold down the hotkey for about 2 to 3 seconds, there is a voice that notifies you that the recording has started, and also if you do it once again, it's gonna notify you that the recording has stopped. Again, it's explained. Next we have games. This is the list of all supported games, and you can type in the name of any game, for example Resident Evil, and you can see that a bunch of Resident Evil games are supported. One interesting thing is if you type in RetroArch, it's also supported, as well as 𝐸𝐹𝐻𝐋𝐿. Interesting. However, if your game is not supported, turn on Live Dangerously and see if it's gonna record your game. Also, you can submit new games to developers and they will hopefully include them or support them in near future. Next tab you have in case you missed it. So as you play the game, sometimes you just dive deep into the game, you forget to record or you forget to create a highlight clip. Well, this feature has your back. It's gonna record clips automatically for you. So at the moment, this is beta feature. It supports only 6 games, and I have tested this feature out and it seems to work just fine. Going to the library, in case you missed it, you're gonna notice that my library is full. Going back to in case you missed it, inside the settings, if you click on the game, you can choose what type of situations for it you wanted to capture. So every time I killed an enemy, every time I had a triple kill, or if I aced the enemy double kill, whatever I had, the program actually did record it. As soon as you do something, a certain event out of these 6, 2 seconds after it, you're gonna hear a notification sound, which signifies that the highlight has just been captured for you. Next, we have a bunch of notifications, which I think are self-explanatory, and we have general options that are mostly for this platform, and that is about it. Couple of more things to showcase to you guys is I'm gonna click on library and I'm gonna go to full sessions. You have a bunch of assortment options for these clips. So for example, I can go by game, also the way you want them to be displayed with a couple of extra options. Now there's actually an option trim. If you click on it, this kind of player opens up. But if you also just click on the video, again the trimming option opens up. So I'm gonna click on it and we have a video player with the pause and play feature, volume, theater mode, full screen mode. We can also go back and go forward 5 seconds. We have a plus and minus to zoom in or zoom out of the timeline, and this is a little timeline which has couple of markers, which are actually those bookmarks that you have created by simply pressing numpad plus. This allows you to easily go to a highlight so you know where it actually happened. Very useful feature. Also, you can trim your videos. You have these two little line thingies and you can actually move them and choose up until what point you want the trimming to be done, basically, start to finish. Also, I'm noticing one more thing. The highlights are also represented up here. They're sort of ghosting out of the frame by themselves, as you can see as I move. But that's how that looks like. Also, you can name this clip whatever you want. You can tag some people. And you can also tag the video itself. For example, LOL. Test 1 and create a clip. Also, you have add to favorites. These three dots can open file location. If I click on it, it's going to open up a folder where all of the videos are, and it's going to highlight the current video clip. Also, obviously, you can delete it. As you can see, they will be removed from the profile, from your clips library, and files will be removed from your computer. You can do that if you want to. And also, you have the option to add music. At the moment, it seems to be disabled, but you can do that as well. As you can see, all the clips from this particular session are sorted here nicely. And that's the completion of the showcase of the program. Let's go to a recording test. Again, let's step back from the desktop and use the camera to record a monitor so you can exactly see and hear what's going on. In the recording test segment, I'm going to be focusing on showcasing a couple of things. First one is how the recording looks like when there is a mouse cursor turned on
People keep running.
and when it's turned off. I think full session is self-explanatory. Like I've said, as soon as you open up the game, recording starts, and when you exit out of the game, the recording stops, and that's when the full session ends. I'll be showcasing how does it look like when you create a 15-second clip or slash a bookmark. Also, how in case you missed it feature works. And finally, how does hold to record work? Once you start the recording,
Recording started.
and once you stop the recording.
Recording stopped.
Couple of things to also pay attention to is if there is any lag while I'm playing the game. So far, I feel no lag whatsoever, no stuttering, everything seems smooth. However, there is one issue that seems to appear from time to time. Do you hear that? This ticking? You'll hear the ticking, by the way. This clicking, ticking, lagging, whatever. But the game doesn't lag at all. Also, do notice how even though the game audio lags, once I press the hotkey, sound notification doesn't lag at all. Let's try pressing the plus. Hear that? That same stutter slash audio lag is also present in the recording itself. Every now and then when I launch the game, when I'm recording certain game using this program, I would get this type of audio stuttering. Once it happens, the solution to fix it is to simply close out the Metal program. This might not happen to you, it did happen to me, so I wanted to showcase that as well. Luxury features, and does it have any? Yes, it does. Sure it has. First thing, the capability to choose between GPU and CPU encoder. Usually the GPU encoder gives you better performance, so very good. Another option would be to enable author watermark, so if somebody decides to download your video, wants to put them somewhere without giving you credits, this thing makes sure that you always get credits. One thing that really surprised me is the in case you missed it feature. I was trying it out in League of Legends, and I think you guys noticed that it worked every single time. Every moment that was highlighted here was actually captured. It's time to do an export test. Here I have a highlight clip which is 15 seconds. Let's drag and drop it. And from what I can tell is there is one audio track. And program should save it.
Was a better option.
There we go. So from what I can tell, there is one audio track. Both the microphone and the game audio is mixed together. The video doesn't lag, the colors are pretty accurate, and that's about it. Everything seems to be just fine. In this segment, let's talk about the cons of this program, specifically just the recorder. First thing is this audio stuttering. Most of the times it would happen, but sometimes it wouldn't. I wasn't really sure why this is happening. Full session recordings take super long to process. This one was recorded half an hour ago, and it's still being processed. Basically this one as well. So all of them still being processed. But the good thing is you can still click open file location and open up that video and watch it. Look at this, it's only 11 seconds. However, it's being processed for quite a while. Still wanted to mention it. I don't see an option to turn off recording buffer. There's only option to put it on the disk or memory. So for somebody who wants to just record on demand, to say so, when I want to start and when I want it to finish, I can't do that. And if I can give just a little criticism on the platform, there's no option to disable autoplay for videos. If you just keep scrolling down, all the videos, look, they just keep automatically playing, automatically loading. Look, there's no option to actually turn this off. Now let's talk about the pros of this program. First thing, a lot of resolution, FPS, bitrate options. It goes all the way. You can't really type in custom settings, but still it's very, very fine. Video encoder, you can choose GPU encoder. Like I've said, generally this is the faster one. Generally, it gives you better performance, so good thing. You can choose to show mouse cursor or hide it. This is useful for cleaner video recordings if you just don't want the mouse shown. I have to give kudos to developers. They actually thought about a couple of options that would concern me from the start. Like for example, free up space. What happens to all the videos on my hard drive, this buffering thingy, what happens? So it seems that free up space is there to help you out. Also, watermark is very good thing to implement. I could see a lot of content creators come in here trying to take somebody else's recording, somebody else's footage. Outer watermark protects you, lets everybody know who original creator of the video is, and it helps you promote yourself if you want to do that. This is very useful. Feature in case you missed it actually surprised me. I had to install League of Legends just to test it out and see if it works as promised, and it does. I think so far it captured every single highlight that I've had. Clicking on the game, and here are the highlights that I have selected. Every single one of them, to what I've noticed, has been captured. So good job. Even though it's beta, it's working good. And one thing, they have a bunch of games listed that are supported to be recorded, and you can very quickly find a game. Not only do they support games, but they also support, for example, some retro programs for playing some other platforms, emulators, bunch of other things. Very useful. Also, in case one of the games is not supported, Live Dangerously, a little cringy in my opinion, but you can turn that on and see if it's going to record the game that's not on the list. So in the sample video section, I'm going to present you guys a recording clip video. So here are the settings that I'm going to be using for that. Full HD 1080p with 60 frames per second and a bitrate of 20 megabits per second using GPU encoder and 30 seconds recording. So I'm going to present you with a clip. The quality should still be the same, so that's as far as that goes. Since I will be playing League of Legends, I'll choose to show you a mouse cursor, and here are all the other options. I will turn off outer watermark as I want video to be clean. When it comes to my audio devices, here's how that looks like. I'm going to turn down the volume of the audio source, which is the speaker here, and I'm gonna turn up my microphone, and I'm gonna try to talk as best as I can, as much as I can, so you can sort of get the idea of what you can get if you configure this program a little bit. When it comes to in case you missed it, that's what's turned on, and general, here's what I have. I think the other options are not really important, but there you go, that's pretty much it. Here I have a sample video that I just recorded. Let's open up file location and let's take a look at the media info for this file. So, media info, right click, and we can see that it's 30 seconds, 71 megabytes, overall bitrate, we can see that. There's a bunch of information here, 1920, 1080, almost 60 frames per second, stream size, we have a little bit of the audio stuff. Sampling rate. This is interesting. The sampling rate on my computer is 41 kilohertz, but this is recording at 48. Also, bitrate is very low. But there you go. Really? So guys, let's try and do little video. And let's see if I can finish this. There we go. Oh, perfect. So there we go. Hopefully that creates a highlight, and you can see how all that looks like 15 seconds and such. I'm also going to press plus. Final summary and a review. First, I want to talk about this platform. It's very interesting and unique. There's this community, I want to say it's very big and very interesting. So for example, I actually did watch this video. So this guy actually has tiny bit of HP, and somehow look at this footwork. So let's have a look at that. Very awesome to see stuff like this. So there's definitely a community here, and it looks nice. Recorder is there to aid the community to record and share these types of highlights. It all was created, I want to say, very nicely. It fits very nicely. All the machinery and the cogs are pretty much working. Kudos on that, developers. But I want to talk about the recorder itself, actually. First and foremost, it has a bunch of very interesting options. Bunch of options to select high quality recording, high frame rate, and it has a bunch of unique options that I, for example, have not seen with other programs. It's obvious that with a lot of these features, options, like for example watermark, all of this was created with the community in mind. What's going to help out the community? Obviously the developers weren't really thinking about just regular everyday game recording. So this program is not at all like the rest of the recorders where you just press a button, recording starts, press another button, recording stops. Even though there is such feature, enable hold to record, and you just have to hold a certain button and then the recording is going to start. There will be a voice notification. I did experience a couple of issues with audio stuttering. It doesn't have that many inconveniences and not a lot of useful features for just everyday recording, but what it has, I think it's pretty basic. One thing that sort of concerns me is how much RAM this program utilizes. It actually has a bunch of instances running in the background, just like a regular browser. It has the encoder and a couple of metal.exe processes. So it's gonna utilize much more RAM than just your average program. Look at this. It's easily using 0.5 GB of RAM, even 600, maybe 700 megabytes of RAM. That's a lot for just a regular recording. The reason I'm gonna say it can't really be used for normal recording is also because of the recording buffer. It's constantly recording in the background, potentially taking up the space of your hard drive. The performance of your hard drive has to be accounted, the RPMs, the speed of the hard drive, all of that, plus the processing power of your computer. So it's using all of these things to have this recording buffer enabled. There is no option to disable this. If it had that, would be awesome. I might be nitpicking still. I think it's definitely capable of recording just regular videos normally as you would with other programs, but you need to work around it just a little bit. It's more for the metal community, and everything in this program is created to help one thing, another thing. It's like a brick on top of brick on top of brick. They really did build a very neat and special thing here. So if you're looking for a community, definitely do give this one a try. There's a bunch of useful features, but if you are looking for a recorder, what is my final grade for this particular recording utility? Well, it's a final episode, guys, and you'll have to check out the spreadsheet in the description below this video. There's a link, you can click on it and open up a Google spreadsheet. There you will find a bunch of interesting information, couple of extra stuff, and that about does it. This has been a final episode of Season 1 of free game capture software. I think that's what I call it. Doesn't matter. These are the programs you guys can utilize to record your games for free. So take a look at the whole series, or just maybe some programs you are interested in, or especially do take a look at the spreadsheet. I think you'll find what you're looking for there. It's been a pleasure doing this Season 1. For Season 2, I have yet to discover a couple of programs that I will be reviewing in Season 2, obviously. But so far, this is it. After this video, I'm gonna create another separate video for the closure and a couple of my plans going into the future. But that's about it. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I will see you in next episode. Priest, signing out.
Can't waste no time, gotta wait in line and the weather's so cold. Should've brought my coat at the end of the line on my shit untold. Messed up a lot, used to be waiting for something or someone to give me my spot. God only show you the way, it's all up to the plan and the paper and people you brought. I learned what I taught, I hope that they notice and give us a shot. I swear I team, been lying a lot.